Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Thursday, August 14th, 2025. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 9:12 a.m. Broadcasting today from the United States of America. I could prove it because our nation's capital has become safer. It's also the place for the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, and the Marketplace with its new pop-up series. Philip Sensula, Harding, Michael Phillips, Wilkes-Barre, John Blannard, Sayersville, Joseph Garrity, Dixon City, Jerry Glasser, Bloomsburg, and Jim Schutt, Danville. Veterans we lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, irreplaceable, amazing founding fathers. That the government is not, should not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our salvation, our direction. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to protect society, to organize society. That's it. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom could not be parceled out to groups. It could not be controlled by government or government officials. Our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and yes, freedom of the press, whether they lie, whether they deceive, whether they fail to cover stories that go against their left-wing agenda. It doesn't matter. We know better, don't we? Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because we had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. So with that essential preamble dispensed with, we can gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that for the balance of the morning, our commitment to common sense will create a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where an entire political party, the Democrats, and all of our global leaders and all of the establishment have literally gone insane, probably because of Donald Trump. Hey, the tall guy's checking in from Harding. He gives me an LTS. Hey, tall guy. I mentioned this yesterday. When you talk about the left, you talk about the Democrats, and I got to tell you, if I was a Democrat, I would be ashamed. And I'd be figuring out, well, can I change this political party from the insane track it is on? Or should I become an independent or a Republican? Because they are hopeless. They are hapless. You heard the John Stossel piece. I love him. Calling it like it is with socialism, and they just keep coming and doubling down on insanity. I don't understand it. Wouldn't you say, well, this government means a production and socialism and all? It really doesn't work. It's really not a good thing. Well, I mean, if you haven't come to that conclusion, you've got mental issues. You really do. So Mamdani, with the fake smile and all, he's mentally ill because nobody's that dumb. You got the Kansas City, they experimented with city-owned stores. It failed miserably. Everything about it is dumb. They mentioned rent control. Well, that means no more houses are going to get built. Every single idea they have, it feels good to talk about it, but we've already watched it fail. Now, we've got a left-wing lunatic county commissioner. Nice guy, maybe. I can't say I know him well. I say hello when I see him. Bill Gaughan. Now, I look at the Times Tribune. I know. I have to for my job. If I didn't have to, and I need the veterans obits. He's appealing. Now, he's lost twice. He's appealing to the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, which is a bunch of lunatics, too. So it's a you never know deal. Now, Bill Gaughan, and the only reason I bring it up, not because, we serve like 13 counties. But the reason I bring up Lackawanna County is because it's the most ridiculous county and you may think yours is, but I can attest, Lackawanna County is the most ridiculous place, the most ridiculous county of anyone that is hearing my voice. That includes the people listening in Florida, New York City, Long Island, Nebraska, California, South Carolina, Philadelphia. Everywhere my voice is being heard now, Lackawanna County is the worst. And we've got a county commissioner. Now, how can he appeal? He's got no votes for it. Chris Chermak would have had to vote with them. There's two commissioners. You need 2 votes to do anything. He filed a suit, lost. He appealed and lost. He's now appealing again. Now, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, by the way, doesn't have to take the case. The Commonwealth Court, I think it was Commonwealth Court or Superior Court, whichever, that he was on, that he just lost that. They have to take the case. They've got to take appeal. So anyway, all of those actions are done without authority. And I want to know, and I know Chris Chermak does, and we'll be checking this very closely. Number one, you don't have any authority to do it. This is your private political battle with Marty Flynn, the state senator, over who's the big Democrat in Lackawanna County. You don't, unless you have 2 votes, you can't take any action. He does not have 2 votes for the original filing. He doesn't have 2 votes for the appeal that he already undertook. He doesn't have the votes for this appeal, and none were ever taken. And yet this clown continues. It's insane. Now, I don't understand this completely, Mike. You said Billy fights like a kid at the ice cream shop, not his money. Thanks a lot, Double Dipper. Yeah, it's insane. It is insane. Now, I've heard him speak on national issues and on Donald Trump and on Republicans. And he is insane. He's gone. So maybe in his left-wing lunatic pea brain, Bill Gaughan thinks that he has gotten authority as one commissioner to file, appeal, and appeal. Maybe. It is actually possible. He's that gone. It's insane. All right. We got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, will return. Sonny and Cher. Murph says this date, 1965, they had the number one hit with that song, I Got You, Babe. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt, no matter what you say about him, and he did not fix the recession in any way, shape, or form. The Great Depression. Please be aware of that. The Social Security Act becoming law in 1935. Now, 2 years later, and I think Social Security is a great thing. The problem with it is so that it didn't look like a welfare program, they made it available even for people who are well off. And so it is now insolvent, headed towards reduced benefits or massively higher taxes or something. Social Security. But it was their best effort at the time. There's no argument on that. Social Security Act becomes law this date, 1935. So going back, it's funny. It's like the hits just keep on coming. And I don't talk about city of Scranton and Lackawanna County because I live in the city of Scranton and Lackawanna County. I talk about it because it's emblematic of the insanity we are trying to fight. Now, the expanded enforcement hours that Pothole Page Cognetti has put on the parking downtown. And the business owner said, please don't do it. You're killing us. It's already a burden. I was downtown last night. Stopped in at Catch 21, Pappa's Pizza, and Atera, 519. It's killing them. And now it's going to be expanded to 7 o'clock. And on top of that, and I'm, by the way, somebody correct me. I think the only way you can pay in the parking meters in downtown Scranton is through credit card. And they're initiating a 5% fee at some point in the future. So they've increased the parking price on top of everything. This is what insane people, left-wing lunatics do. They don't know how to do anything because they don't have a grip on truth, fact, and reality. So how could they be expected to do their job? Just go up to Naog Park 5 years after Pothole Page has been in office and take a look at the mounds of dirt. But the thank you Joe Biden sign is up. Thank you, Joe Biden, for the money that we're not able to spend properly. We can't get the job done even with the cash in our greedy little hands because we're ridiculously incompetent. That's what the mayor's. That's what the sign should say, with Mayor Pothole Page Cognetti signed on the bottom. And you could drive through the streets. It might as well be Fallujah after a bombing raid by the American forces. And now you have this idiot. And there's really nothing good you can say. And by the way, his chief advisor is the former editorial page writer who is gone. Literally. These people need to go to Clark Summit State Hospital, check in. They need to go to Clark Summit State Hospital, check in. And some, maybe they could come out better. Pat McKenna, that's his main guy. That's who's with him. I was at the Tech Bridge conference last week. That's who they came in together. Okay. Now, let me say something further on this point. The lawyers, now the county solicitor Is it Fredrickson? I'm blanking for some reason. He's a hack, okay? He's not a good lawyer. But the lawyers he brought in, I think it was Myers, Breyer, and Kelly. I don't want to guess. They, by the way, they've got an obligation not to appeal. As lawyers, you come to me as a lawyer. You don't have the right to do something. It's incumbent on the lawyer to not do it. So the lawyers, the county solicitor, and the lawyers hired by the county, well, not by the county, by Gahan, they're not allowed to do this under canon of ethics. They're not allowed to do something that there's no legal authority to do. So it's a triple shame that this insanity is going on. And again, it has nothing to do with the law. It has nothing to do with anything except that little Billy Gahan is fighting in the sandbox with Marty Flynn over who's the top dog Democrat in Lackawanna County. That's how insane it is. So I live in Scranton. I live in Lackawanna County. I'm governed by lunatics. Yeah, the same people. By the way, Paige Cognetti and Bill Gahan, if you want further proof of their insanity, are the ones who brought us Biden Expressway and Biden Street. Yeah, they're the ones. Yes. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back with our great veterans after this. A corollary to that, an important one, is found outside the Bloomsburg Legion. A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, is someone who, at one point in his or her life, wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America and its people for an amount of up to and including his or her life. That is honor. This Veterans Tribute brought to you by our man John Basiliga. Basiliga Hospitality, but this weekend the focus is on the marketplace at Steamtown. I'll tell you a little bit about the pop-up market series that's beginning on Saturday at that great venue. Philip Sensula. He was 82. He was from Harding. He passed away August 8th. He was formerly of Wilkes-Barre. Born in Wilkes-Barre, he was a graduate of St. Nicholas High School, Wilkes-Barre, class of 61. He served with the Pennsylvania National Guard, 109th Infantry Regiment, the incredible 109th. He was a member of the Masonic Lodge, the Shekinah Lodge, St. Conrad Society. He was an X-ray technician until his retirement. In addition to family, he survived by lifelong friends, Rosalie Ray Anishevitz, Butch Papp, Carol Sukolowski, cousin Linda Madro. Philip Sensula. Michael Phillips. We lost him August 7th at age 76. He was from Wilkes-Barre. Born in Hanover Township, graduate of St. Mary's High School, Wilkes-Barre. He attended King's College and served us in the United States Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. He worked at Pride Mobility, great company in Luzerne County. He owned Phillips Creative Art Glass before that. Tragically preceded in death by his son Jeffrey. He survived by his other sons, Michael and Ryan, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and other family members. Michael Phillips. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by the Pop-Up Market Series, beginning Saturday at the Marketplace at Steamtown. Over 20 vendors. They're going to have live music all afternoon. Jeremy Burke, the Williams Brothers. 20 new vendors, pop-up vendors, in addition to the year-round vendors that are already there in that great space. Looking forward to this. John Basiliga is trying to create a Reading Terminal deal in that area of the marketplace at Steamtown that has so much more to offer. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, morning showers, then sunshine, high 85, 75 degrees outside our studios as I speak. Tonight, partly cloudy down to 62. Friday, partly sunny, 88. Saturday, mostly sunny, 88. Sunday, partly sunny with a chance of an isolated afternoon thunderstorm, and it'll be near 90 on Sunday. I'll be off next week. I'm going on vacation. But part of that is staycation. But so I'm going to miss you guys. I mean it. I've been blessed to have a job that isn't work. It doesn't pay me enough, but hey, you can't have everything. Hey, let's go ahead, Bulldog. Play what we got. And you know what that song means. It means Lorraine is here. By the way, Rolling Stones, and I know that Lorraine's a big fan of the Stones, and this date, 1965, when she was barely born, the Stones had the number 2 hit with Satisfaction. And, of course, before that, Victor Davis Hanson, the great Victor Davis Hanson. Lorraine.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Are you a Rolling Stones fan?
Well, that's my theme song. I can't get no satisfaction.
Good. There you go.
That's right. You must have known that.
Well, you've got a poem for us, I guess.
Yes, I never read this one on the air. I don't think to anybody, but my sister passed away back in 1999, August the 3rd. I did try to get on earlier and before this, but they didn't get me on. But anyway, okay. Now
you got your little shot in there.
Well, no, it's not a shot; it's the truth. But anyway, I want you always ask me when I wrote it. Yes, 1999, and naturally, but I sat down and wrote this poem right before I went to her wake, and I placed a copy in her casket.
Your mom?
So, my sister.
Oh, your sister. Okay.
Yeah, in 1999. Yep.
Wow.
And
right.
It's in memory of my big sister.
Nice. Go ahead.
You're gone from me now. I sit and wonder why. God only knows the reason, but all I do is cry. Were Mother and Pop there to greet you? And Georgie Ann as well? I bet their arms were opened wide. It must have been so swell. Oh, I'll still drive by to see if you're on the swing. I won't see your smiling face. To me, that meant everything. Please pray for me, and I will pray for you. Give Mother and Pop a kiss from me, and tell them I love them too. Love, your little sister,
Beautiful.
Lorraine.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's one of your best. That's one of your best, and they're all good. Well,
Yeah,
that's very touching. I love that, Lorraine. That's great. I'm happy you read that.
Yeah, I wanted to. And I tried. And I tried. There you go. But I can't get no.
Well, we're not going to have a new segment called Lorraine Sings the Stones. We're not going to do it. Just so you know. Oh, the Bulldog's in there smiling and laughing.
Well, hey.
You know why? Because he thinks you got away with a joke on the air, and that he thinks it was funny, because he's awful at this too, you know. He's awful at the comedy thing.
That's your opinion.
Well, my opinion's the only one that counts on this show.
Bob, take
so
a
you
look
know, Lorraine.
Take a look in the mirror.
All right. Well, I'm happy you called with your poem today. I think it made a lot of people's day. It made mine.
Well, I'm glad. I wish I could make my day.
Well, I was thinking immediately, you know how I don't have any sisters. It's just the 3 brothers. But
Yep.
I was thinking of my grandchildren. And obviously my younger granddaughter has a big sister. So it's beautiful.
Yep.
Hey, we got to go, Lorraine. It's Bloomberg Money Minute. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. Murph tells us this date, 1965, the Beach Boys. They moved from number 28 to number 9 with their great hit, California Girls. And before that, great little President Harry S. Truman announcing that Imperial Japan had surrendered unconditionally, ending World War II. We're going to have Rick Bigelow on tomorrow regarding the signing of that document on the deck of one of our great warships. We're going to have him talk about that tomorrow at 10. Excited about that because he's just so much great information. Not just a great patent attorney, he's just a great historian. Truly good. Amazing stuff. A number of you saying you're gonna miss me while I'm gone. Thank you. Old gal from Mountaintop, Ginny C. from Plains Township. Ginny, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Fred Duckman says this, and boy, I hope he and others in his circumstances get relief. Bob, veterans like myself did make that check to the government, but now when we're not needed, the government gives us an IOFU when it comes to giving us a decent disability pension. Do you think Trump will ever give the veteran what we most desperately need? I hope so. I hope so. He's done other great things for the veterans. He loves the veterans. So I hope he does. I think we got to talk to our two congressmen, Rob Bresnahan, Dan Muser. We got to talk to our senator, Dave McCormick, and get him to push that. He can do it. Sean from Lawrenceville, Texas, he goes, yeah, look in the mirror, Bob. LMAO, which means laugh my ass off. Lorraine got 2 zingers in. The last one was her best ever. Well, that's not saying much. LTS, love Lorraine from Hazleton, says Sean from Larksville. Yes, she got me. Yeah, she got me. Somebody says, did you hear that Paige Cognetti is announcing for Congress on Labor Day weekend? I didn't hear. I hear it's imminent. And she's going to announce while she's running for mayor. Arrogance at its finest. Yes, I'm doing such a horrible job as mayor of Scranton that I'm looking to get out of it because I don't know how to do a good job, and my failures are being exposed. That should be her speech. Like, remember the movie Liar, Liar when they had to tell the truth? If she made their announcement for Congress, Pothole Page would have to say, I'm doing such an awful job as mayor of Scranton that I've got to go to a different job. One where my left-wing lunacy might actually make me part of the crowd, the in crowd, instead of just being a failure. That's what her announcement would say if she was in the movie Liar, Liar. Oh, it's frightening. Yeah, so Lorraine, she got a zinger. And singing the Rolling Stones lyrics. Yeah, she did good. And she had a great poem today. My man Mark from Hazelton says, I could add Nashville, Tennessee to the list of places in the country where people are listening because he'll be in Nashville next week. Now, it'll be probably best of, but I would love that you'd be listening. He's going to something called the Killer Nashville Writing Conference. I don't know. It's about spying, espionage, and forensics. Okay. Go. You have a great time. You have a great time next week, and hope you're listening. Murph says, Murph himself has contacted me. This bears special note. When he gets in touch during the deal, my God, during the show, he says, I think they're going to miss the music. People are going to miss Murph's music. We'll see. All right, we'll take a break, though, because I look at my Picardo jeweler's watch, and it tells me it's 10:02:35, and that means it's time for the news, in fact, past time. But I want to remind you, in addition to the pop-up market series at the Scranton Public at the Marketplace of Steamtown, Hot cars, cool watches at Bicardo's. Jefferson Avenue and Spruce Street, downtown Scranton, right across, or caddy corner, as they say, from the Radisson. You got to check out both of these events. I'm gonna go to both. I'm excited. I want to see the hot cars and I want to see the cool watches. We'll be back. Great good morning, everyone. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:52 here in the great Northeast this beautiful Thursday, August 14, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and the new pop-up series at the Marketplace at Steamtown starting Saturday to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we lost this year, but celebrate today because they are great. Like Michael Phillips, Wilkes-Barre, Philip Sensula, Harding, John Blannard, Sawyersville, Joseph Garrity, Dixon City, Jerry Glasser, Bloomsburg, and Harold Jim Schutt, Danville. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you a sanctuary of sanity for the balance of the morning, but warning, and there's a lot of you listening, in fact, some of the things we've done, it's almost more than half of the audience is Democrat. And you got to believe me, I've got nothing against the Democrat Party that used to be. I was a Democrat. But we won't suffer fools gladly for those of you who have not woken up yet. And I don't mean in the woke sense. I mean if you haven't woken up yet to the insanity that has befallen your party and the conspiracy to destroy the country for personal benefit that they've undertaken along with the establishment. And that establishment's in Harrisburg. That establishment is in your city, in your town, your county. That establishment is in Washington, D.C. One of our great listeners says, Bob, I'm currently in Delaware, but I always listen wherever I am. Thank you. You don't know how much that warms my heart because I like hanging around with you too. I really do. And I think of the individuals, particularly when you reach out like that. But then this huge dysfunctional family as a whole. It's just a pleasure. It is literally my honor to be with you every day. Just I want you to know that. I don't say that you guys make the show to be self-deprecating. It's because you do make the show. Somebody texted in, there are three types of people in this world. People who make it happen, people who watch what happens, and people who wonder what has happened. Yeah. And if you're voting like a Democrat, you're wondering what has happened. And you say, oh my God, what happened? What is happening here? I can't believe it. Like, pretending that there's not a crime wave in Washington, D.C., pretending that it's not a problem to have illegal aliens in this country, to have an open border, to have illegal aliens, criminals not get rounded up. Crazy. Literally crazy. Hey, Mother Teresa, for August 14th, Mary Regina has dutifully forwarded it to me, and I don't want to miss it because it's another highlight of my day. Mother Teresa says, I'm convinced that today's youth are more generous than those of times past. Now, she was talking about 30 years ago. Our youth are better prepared and more willing to sacrifice to serve others. I hope that is still true, Mother Teresa, St. Teresa. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Regina. Hey, Tony from Pittston's on the blower. He's calling in about an event in Schuylkill County next week. How are you?
How are you today, Bob? Thank you for taking my call.
I'm great. Thank you.
Okay, so every year they're doing a cold region Wounded Warrior benefit at the Schuylkill County Fairgrounds It's going to be camping, food, beer, a bunch of bands. All proceeds goes to the Wounded Warrior Association. It's going to be Friday, August 22nd, and Saturday, August 23rd. We're encouraging everyone who supports the veterans to come down and be a part of it. There'll be plenty of veterans to shake their hands and thank them for their service. I play in a band that's going to be on the main band stage. My band's name is Intoxication. But we do this because we
Intoxication,
love
I like that. I like that, Tony. What do you play? Tony, what instrument do you play?
I am the lead guitarist of Intoxication, sir.
How
and
neat.
believe it or not, I'm 40-something years not drinking. So But
well, there's other ways to be intoxicated, and it could be a positive thing instead of a negative, you know.
Well, we are going to intoxicate the public with the music, and hopefully we're going to get everybody. Well, they have everybody pledges the allegiance. Everybody sings the Star Spangled Banner at this event, and the outpouring of patriotism at this event every year is unbelievable. So I just figured since you do the war.
I'm honored you're telling us about this. Tony, repeat the who, what, where, when, and why, because I won't be here on the air to do one live next week. Rob Nyhard might be in for me one day, but repeat that for me if you could.
So it's the Cold Region Wounded Warrior Benefit at the Schuylkill County Fairgrounds, August 22nd, which is a Friday, and August 23rd, which is a Saturday. There's camping on the grounds. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be beer trucks. There's going to be bands. There's going to be people selling anything patriotic. Plus, last year there had to have been about 75 wounded veterans roaming the area, and everybody was, thanking them for their service. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be more. And I knew you were going away, so I said, let me get this out there for everybody to hear it, because you're doing a great job. You know we love you, and keep preaching the truth.
Thank you, Tony. And Tony, do me a favor if you can. Either call me again tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour or the 11 o'clock hour. Sometimes it's different audiences, and we'd like to reach them about this as much as we can this week, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me get on there and preach this, and keep doing what you do best, sir.
Wounded Warriors event at the Schuylkill County Fairgrounds next Friday and Saturday. Thank you to you and everybody who's putting it on, and thank you for publicizing it here.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
All right, my man. Thanks, Tony. That's just great. That is just great. I hope as many of you can go as possible. Hey, somebody texted in, and I knew this because I was actually with John at Terra last night talking to him. He was coming from the zoning meeting. But somebody pointed out John Bass League and J Bass, his company, I call it J Bass, it's JBAS, were approved last evening by the zoning board to rehabilitate the old Nativity School in South Scranton. This comes from a guy named John. Thanks, John. That is great. Everything he touches, John Bass League, is why, and I told you this, I don't. Same thing with Picardo's and anybody else I talk about. It's because I love what they do, and what they do is important and as good as it can be. And it's a gorgeous property with this courtyard in South Scranton. It is going to be fabulous. He's already got a great, in the old giant floor building in South Scranton, he's already got a great apartment complex there. This will be fabulous. That's good. I'm happy you reminded me of it, because believe it or not, after we were talking about other things, I remember that he was there. Well, so thank you. 51 units, Mike Mancini says. Another sends in, Bob, why can't we get Doge involved in Lackawanna County with the foolish spending of our tax dollars by County Commissioner Bill Gaughan and attorney's fees? Let's do it. Well, we've got the next best thing. We've got a commissioner Chris Chermak to do this, and that's a good thing. I have not, and I'm going to have Chris on at some point to ask him, has any bills from this illegal litigation, have any bills come in? There's nobody to approve them. They're not going to get paid. But I want to point out again, now that I'm back on the subject, and just to refresh you, the single Lackawanna County commissioner who's in a political sandbox baby battle with our state senator, Marty Flynn, for who's the big dog in the Democrat Party in Lackawanna County. Okay, so it's all personal. For personal benefit, personal ego for Bill Gaughan. He's the guy who gave us Biden Street and along with Mayor Many Names, Paige Cognetti. Biden Street, Biden Expressway. Now, they're in a struggle, political struggle with each other using the actually Lackawanna County, pretending that he has the right to do it. And the lawyers, you are breaching the canon of ethics as lawyers because you know he doesn't have authority to bring this litigation. He doesn't have authority to bring it. He doesn't have authority to appeal it. Shame on you. And I got to tell you, I hope somebody reports them to the bar, to the Pennsylvania bar, because when you know that someone does not have the right to do something, an attorney is not allowed to pursue it. So shame on them. Anyway, we've got to go. We got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will take a break. We'll hear from our great sponsors. We have a little history, a little music, and then we'll come back and talk to you. We got some people on the phone. Murph tells us this date, 1967, the Association released their hit, Never My Love. What a great little song, huh? I forgot about that. And 1997, this date, Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh sentenced to death. He wanted it, and yes, go. You're a horrible, evil person. Go. And he was executed. Thank God it was Oklahoma. If it was in New York State or one of these left-wing idiocy, they'd be still fighting over it, trying to put him to death. Kill him. Be done. And I'm against the death penalty. By the way, somebody texting in, don't forget about Perotti Cigar Building. That's John Basiliga's. Oh, it's awesome. Awesome development. And somebody says, boy, I hope he could do something to save Nativity Church. Nativity Church wasn't part of the original purchase. I don't know if it's available to him now or not. Gorgeous properties. And it's a shame we're losing these churches, but to be repurposed as a place for people to live, like as a beautiful place for people to live, not bad. Somebody texted in, they said, the liberal view of crime in Washington, D.C. is analogous to saying a child's temperature was 105, but it's now 103, so there's nothing to worry about. And they continue, and I'm not convinced violent crime has actually declined, especially since a high-ranking police official was suspended for fudging the crime numbers. Steve from Dunmore. Perfect points. Perfect points. Somebody else texted in, hi, Bob, ALTS. Back at you, man. Speaking of Bill Gaughan's action with appeals, it would appear he's acting as a dictator with a blind following. Same he accuses President Trump. Isn't that, thank you. I didn't think of that. Oh, and he had one of the big fruitcake speeches at, what was it, Emperor's Day or whatever the idiots called it. And he said he's a dictator. Well, what is two things you have to be somebody like Bill Gaughan. You got to be a liar and a hypocrite. And thank you for pointing out that hypocrisy. Thank you so much. That is exactamundo. Hey, we got to go to our man Wayne from Einan. Hi, Wayne. How you doing, man?
Good, Robert. How are you, my friend?
Fantastic.
How's the golf game going? I shouldn't ask.
I'm playing tomorrow. We'll see. I've only played twice this year, and I've enjoyed both times.
You're still in pursuit of that hole-in-one, so keep going.
I got a birdie. My friend Timmy Urick took me down to Fox Hill, and I got a birdie. And I'm like, all right, that's for me. A par is a birdie. A bogey is a par. You know, so to get that, I've never had an eagle or a hole in one. We'll see.
Well, it's almost time to turn pro then, you know.
Well, I'll be with the Dempsey gang at Elmer's Friday, so we'll see. It's another chance.
Good for you. Have an enjoyable day, buddy. Okay. Here's my comment about Nativity School. I went to school there for 8 years.
Yeah.
I was right across the street from it. Okay. It is a beautiful building. Okay. The marble on the walls.
Yeah.
It's all marble. It is gorgeous. Inside, the floors are all marble. And the thing is, the classrooms are big enough to make an apartment out of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are.
And I love that courtyard. I love that courtyard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice courtyard in the back. Yes, it is. Yeah. Lots of parking in the back there, too, between the convent and everything.
Now, I don't think the school is part of John Basiliga's project, or not the school, the church at this time, at this point. But I hope it's incorporated. He'll do something great with that, too.
Oh, jeepers, with that. I don't know. I was an electrician, Bob. I used to go up there and crawl around and up there and change the lights in the soffit areas and everything. Okay, the dome up there has to be 80 feet high.
Yeah.
Okay. It was such a hard building.
I only really went there for funerals. I hate to say, but I don't know. It was always solemn and beautiful in that church. It really was.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Just the stained glass. Oh my God. That's where that has to be worth a million. It's just the stained glass stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the school I think would be a beautiful place for apartments. Yes, and they got a big downstairs. They got a huge meeting room. It'll be huge. It's like a used to use it for a gym too.
Yeah.
You know, it's really gorgeous building. I think that would be a plus for the area.
Huge
Yeah,
plus.
oh, it's huge.
And
Huge.
parts of South Scranton are transitional, so you know that'll be a real great anchor for the whole South Side. You know,
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
something it needs right now. That's for sure.
Well, when I come
Okay,
down
my
from the
friend.
hill section, coming to work or going wherever, the first thing I see coming down the hill, I see across the way, I see that beautiful dome.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful church. It's a beautiful complex. I mean, even the rectory.
Yeah.
You know, the rectory is gorgeous itself, and so is the convent.
What a shame
You
we're
know,
losing all these churches,
Yes,
though,
it is.
Wayne.
Yes, it is.
Jeez.
I agree, and I'm a Catholic, and it is a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. But Rob, take care. Hey,
All
good
right.
luck at golf. Okay?
Thank you. Always my pleasure,
Maybe, hey,
Wayne.
Maybe you'll get that next par. Who knows?
Yeah, oh, you'll know about it as soon as I come back from vacation. You'll know. Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, have a couple cold ones on me too.
I
okay?
will. Well, I'll probably have more than that. Thanks, Wayne.
You
But you know what? I'll have more than that, but a couple of them will be on you. All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That's all right.
All
Love
right.
to meet you someday and have a couple
I'd
cold
love
ones with
it.
you. It'd be fun.
I would
It'd
love
be
it.
fun. Take care, my friend.
Thanks,
Have
Wayne.
a good weekend.
All
Bye-bye.
right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Great Sam Elliott, a veteran himself, reading that commentary from a vet, World War II vet. And it goes for our peacetime gang. It goes for all of our military. Reminded every hour of the Bloomsburg Legion and this beautiful stone they have. What is a veteran? A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America and its people for an amount of up to and including his or her life. John Blannard, he was 93 when he passed August 7th. He was from Sawyersville, born in Pringle. He attended Sawyersville schools. He was a technician with Fortune Fabrics. He loved football. He served this country proudly in the U.S. Army during the Korean conflict. Preceded in death by his wife of 63 years, the former Emma Leonard, in 2023. Tragically also preceded in death by a grandson, John Blannard. Surviving are his sons, 8 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren, as well as 2 brothers. John Blannard. Joseph Garrity, Dixon City. He died August 9th at age 77. He'd been preceded in death by his wife of 29 years, Arlene, who passed away in 2024. He was born in Stroudsburg, a graduate of the former Cathedral High School. That was the name of Bishop Hannon, if you remember that former school. Great school. He was a union electrician for 59 years, a member of the great IBEW, the local in Scranton, and local 717 in Tobyhanna. Additionally, served this country as a U.S. Army reservist. A loving father of 5, known as Grampy and jokingly Grumpy by his grandchildren. He's survived by 3 sons, 2 daughters, 8 grandchildren, 2 stepchildren, and many other family members. Joseph Garrity, our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga, the Marketplace at Steamtown, starting its pop-up series Saturday. That's exciting. Over 20 different vendors adding to their year-round food and vendors. Music by Jeremy Burke and the Williams Brothers all afternoon. Check it out. It's the beginnings of our very own Reading terminal that you'll see in Philly. They'll pull it off. I believe it. It's great space, the Marketplace at Steamtown. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, some morning showers, then sunshine. High of 85. It's already 79 outside the studio as I speak. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62. Friday, partly sunny, 88. Saturday, mostly sunny, 88. Sunday, partly sunny with a chance of an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. High near 90. Okay, Friday's going to be perfect, I guess. I'm golfing tomorrow after we do this thing. before I comment on this song that Murph found, and I've heard it before. You heard that piece. Obama saying, how's he going to bring all these jobs and deals? What's he doing? But you were a community organizer. You had no clue about business or the economy. So, yeah, you have no idea how he's going to do it. It's only about $10 trillion and counting in investment and jobs in this country. And the tariffs are going to work their magic for employment rates and wages. And so is kicking out the illegals. Yeah, for Americans. What a crazy concept. America first. Wow, that's really insulting. These people, they're unbelievable. Barack showing himself to be the fool we all felt he was. And he's getting worse, like all of them. But that was The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, the number one hit in the UK this date, 1968, with that song Fire. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. Somebody texts in, if the Oklahoma City bombing happened in New York City or Philly, they would have started a GoFundMe for the bomber. I know it. ALTS back at you. They are that crazy. And you want to say to them, what made you this way? What causes you to have demented thinking? And again, I just go back. Front page of the Rag, Times Tribune. We have a picture of Bill Gaughan. You got to be a hypocrite and a liar to be the left-wing lunatic that he is. He's standing giving a ludicrous speech about how Trump's acting as a dictator while he's doing a lawsuit, an appeal, and a second appeal on his own without approval from the Board of Commissioners that he's supposed to work for. He's acting like a dictator, one of our great listeners. I hadn't even thought of that. And thank you. Very smart observation. And there is so little self-awareness, and in his case, zero self-awareness. He doesn't even get it. I hope you're listening, Bill. You are a hypocrite, and your lawyers are breaching the canon of ethics by undertaking a legal action with no authority and no valid client. Big Cat texts in. He says Trump's legacy will be that he is undoing the damage caused by Obama, the Bushes, and Clinton. Yep. Exactamundo. It's so true. All right, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Bloomberg Money Minute coming up. We'll see what's happening in the markets. Our great sponsors. And then we'll be back. 570-883-0098 to call or to text and participate in the program. We'll be back. Donald Trump firing a preemptive shot before his meeting with Vladimir Putin tomorrow. 25% tariffs imposed on India over taking in Russian oil. And Scott Bessent, our great Treasury Secretary, who right-hand gal is Alexandra Priate from this area, asking Europe to join. So he's going in with a billy club tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. And I told you what I want to come out of this. I want a military, but prior to that, an energy alliance with Russia. I want them to be true friends of ours, to reform, get the hell out of Ukraine on terms acceptable to the Ukrainian people, and then say, okay, fresh start. We're done with our elites, our foreign policy establishment, and the Democrat Party who hate Russia for whatever reason, love China, but we're allying with you, and now we'll tell China where they're going to go. Now we'll control the action on the geopolitical game board. By the way, 2003, this date, the huge blackout, and you heard the aftermath related to the New York City subway system, but the northeastern United States and parts of Canada, 50 million people lost power. By the way, coming to a theater near you, and we don't know when. And an interesting question. I heard Nancy this morning in the morning news talking about AI as a general concept, but now one of the issues is they want to build here. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it different? Well, that total ass Chris Kelly writes in a column that they're some kind of Shylocksers. It was so stupid and indecipherable. I hadn't talked about it till now. Now, he's not capable of intelligent conversation. He just isn't. He's a dumb, dumb person. It's sad what he's become. Anyway, he should go back to drinking. The sad part is that idiots like him are having discussion that don't add to anything. But at some point, we're going to take an hour on this program, some point soon. And we're going to talk about, like, artificial intelligence is coming. Now, I don't know if it's the highest and best use of our land and our resources to have artificial intelligence data centers here. I don't know that. They're not big on jobs. Like, for example, like an Amazon warehouse, like we've got 2 of them. Chewy's, we've got 2 of them. The warehouse distribution center Rob Miracle built over here across, Cross Point or whatever. I mean, those are great jobs and plentiful jobs. The data centers are not quite that. Now, there's a lot of ways to pursue data centers. The issue is it the highest and best use for what limited resources we have? We'll see. We've got to have that. We've got to have an intelligent discussion, not idiot discussions like in the newspaper. Just can't do it. Because it's too important for our future. The analysis is important. All right. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it is 11 o'clock and change, so that means we've got to go to the news. A reminder, this Saturday, in addition to the pop-up markets at the marketplace at Steamtown, 10 to 5, hot cars, cool watches, an annual event at Picardo's Jewelers, Spruce Street and Jefferson Avenue in Scranton, catty corner from the Radisson Hotel. It's going to be fabulous. I can't wait to get there. We'll take a break and we'll be back after the news. Great good morning, everyone. It's 11:10 a.m. here on my Cordaro Jewelers Watch. Don't forget, hot cars, cool watches. This Saturday, 10 to 5 at Picardo's, Jefferson Avenue, Spruce Street, Scranton. Well, it's not only 11:10. It's Thursday, August 14th, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, who's also launching Saturday morning, 10 to 5 pop-up market series at the marketplace at Steamtown. And he wants us to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like the veterans we salute today and whom we lost this year. Joseph Garrity, Dixon City. John Blannard, Sawyersville. Michael Phillips, Wilkes-Barre. Philip Sensula, Harding, formerly of Wilkes-Barre. Harold Jim Shutt, Danville. And Jerry Glazer, Bloomsburg. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that for the balance of the hour, now I can't believe we're already in the third hour, we will, through our commitment to common sense, provide a sanctuary of sanity for you. I'm watching Chuck Schumer. Now, I've got to say this, and they spent a fortune. This is how sick the Democrat Party and its leadership has become. We see it on the local level with Gahan and Cognetti. Chuck Schumer saying, no effing way. No effing way they're going to let the National Guard go beyond 30 days in Washington, D.C. The people of Washington, D.C. want it. Imagine this. An initiative by Donald Trump gets 65% approval in a Washington Post poll. They need to be saved from Democrats. And this stupid thing, whether it's Robert Francis O'Rourke or Schumer, this cursing thing that some market testing told them would make them more relatable or real or tougher, God knows what. And Chuck Schumer says, I can walk around Washington, D.C. because you've got a security detail, you stupid ass. God, he's one of the most disgraceful people. You could go across the board with Democrat leadership. They are all sickening, disgusting human beings. They really are. Here's a mild version of that. One of the listeners says, when the Dems' narrative is falling apart, they just start talking over the facts being given. It's tired and old. Yes, it is. Rodney says, morning, Bob. LTS, when you said Chris Kelly should go back to drinking, you made me laugh out loud. And that's hard to do. He should. He's out of his mind. You know, they say that you have to give up one addiction and find another. Well, his addiction is idiocy, left-wing idiocy. He's addicted to it. And it's actually beyond disgraceful. Can't cover any issue without being out of his mind. I mean, he doesn't even make any sense anymore. Awful. Anyway. Somebody texted in, where is it? Oh, is there any truth to reports saying Trump is going to offer opening up Alaska's resources to Russia? I have not seen any report of that kind. And it could be just some left-wing stupidity. And there's no context to what you're telling me there. So I won't comment on it, but they don't need oil resources energy resources. That's the only thing Russia doesn't need. So it doesn't make any sense on its face, but we'll see. Somebody else texting in. Bob, I don't care whether Obama is black, white, or purple. He's proved himself to be another do-nothing follower who made himself a rich, smug figurehead that some people at one time believed to be something special, while he's just another liar who believed he had us duped. I hope he gets his due process. LTS, back at you. Yeah. Lordy Lord. This is just awful. And he's becoming a joke. Just like the Clintons became a joke. And two intelligent people, the Clintons. But they've become a complete, utter, in the case of Hillary, bitter joke. Crazy stuff. Somebody says, Bob, now we know why we got the Biden signs no one wants. The personality of Joe Biden and Bill Gaughan, totally compatible. Two boards nailed together. Now we have these signs of total failure posted on our hometown. The signs have to go. I'm with you. Somebody texting in, do you think Putin is just stringing the U.S. along to prolong the war? Well, that's a real possibility. And Trump knows that. And he's acknowledged it. Because Putin knows he's winning the war of attrition. There's the old, to analogize, or sorry, to paraphrase, the Hemingway comment. How did you become bankrupt? Little by little, and then all of a sudden. Well, how do you lose a war? Little by little, then all of a sudden. So a war of attrition that has been going on that Ukraine really never could win. Their bravery, their spirit, their national character, whatever you want to call it, has made what Biden and our always wrong intelligence officials thought was a 3-day deal and over. They've dragged it out into years and killed a lot of Russians in the meantime. Oh, and some Koreans too, by the way. Well, at some point it ends. You don't have the people. Remember what we talked about way back when, and one of the hidden things. Now, starting the conflict, there are only 44 million people or thereabouts Ukrainian. Russia, 145 million population. So right there, from the standpoint of bodies, very difficult to win. And remember, the logistics are not so difficult for Russia, so that's not a negative. Russia literally surrounds Ukraine. So all of those factors going in, Russia's going to win that war, period. And you've got a guy in Vladimir Putin who doesn't care how many Russians get killed. He just wants to win. So are we close to the breaking point for Ukraine? It's really possible. And by the way, I'm sure Putin knows this. So to me, Trump's got to break new ground. It reminds me of MacArthur in the Korean War. He went around the forces and landed at Incheon. And he's got to say, look, we'll do big things. You got to stop this now. I promise we'll do big things. We'll create an energy alliance so that, by the way, with the alternative being we're going to crush energy prices by producing across the energy complex and distributing it throughout the world. So we're going to crush your economy as the alternative. Or we'll ally with you. We'll have an energy alliance with you. We'll see. I mean, he's got to bring something. That may be where somebody had the thought that opening Alaska's resources to Russia, again, they don't need the oil. They need us to not crush the price of energy. That's the Trump weapon that he has. We'll see. We'll see. Somebody said, Big Ed from Shikshini says he shouldn't be meeting while Putin's still launching rockets. Well, Big Ed, that's exactly when you need to meet. That's exactly when you need to meet. You can't wait till they're stopped. You can't get a ceasefire without negotiations. You can't get the end of the war without negotiation. So I'll respectfully disagree with her. Hey, I look at my Ricardo Jewelers watch. It's 11:21. We'll be back after these great messages. We've got a little history, a little music, and then we'll go to the phones. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Tommy James and the Shondells had really, I love those bands like Three Dog Night that just have their very different sounds in a lot of their music, and that's certainly one of them. Dragging the Line, Tommy James and the Shondells. Murph says this date, 1971. They moved up to number 4 with that hit. I like that song a lot. It's cool. And before that, the odious, disgusting, hypocritic liar and worst Secretary of State ever, John Kerry, regarding opening up the U.S. Embassy in Cuba this date in 2015. It had been closed for 54 years. How'd that work out, John? How'd it work out with the Iranian deal? How'd it work out? Please tell me. Dear Lord. You talk about, that's what again, you cannot be good at your job if you're a left-winger. You can't, I'm sure there's exceptions, but not many, because you're detached, you have zero self-awareness, which is critical in so many jobs, in so many aspects of our lives. Self-awareness. I mean, he flies a jet, a private jet, to China for a meeting that was held on Zoom. And he's the Green New Deal guy. These people are insane. And they reopened the embassy in Cuba without any change in the Cuban government. They're still as oppressed as ever. Was the embargo the way to handle it originally? Probably not. But Kennedy did it, and it was in place. You don't remove it without change in behavior. Another infamia of the Obama administration and that fool. Big Ed in Chickasha says Roosevelt would have never met Hitler while he was still bombing England. If he thought, I'm going to disagree with you. Number one, it's not analogous. Russia is not at war with us. They aren't even at war with an ally. Please remember this, Ed. I should say Big Ed. Big Ed, they are not an ally of ours. Ukraine is not our ally. That's number one. But number two, we're not directly involved either. Now, if he had the opportunity, would Franklin Roosevelt, and wasn't the greatest president, by the way, he gave a hell of a speech and had a hell of a presence. But Roosevelt, if he had the chance to head off a war, he would have mediated. I'm sure he would have. And we've got other issues with the Russians, like separating them from the Red Chinese, that have to be dealt with. It isn't good for the United States for Russia to be our enemy. It's obviously not good for Russia either. But it certainly isn't good for Russia and China to be close allies the way Biden, the sick, idiot, incompetent fool, put them together. It's a big deal. Somebody says, I didn't think you'd go full-on support of Putin. Interesting take. No, I don't have any support for Putin. That's not somebody else, not Big Ed. That's not the right interpretation of what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying. If they get out of Ukraine, we should be their ally and make every effort to do it. We've got to go against our horrendous foreign policy establishment, and the Democrat Party, which is always wrong about everything. And we've got to extricate Russia from the arms of the Red Chinese. That's all. It's practicality. It's not saying Putin's a good guy. Putin could be trusted. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm saying it's really bad for the United States to have driven Russia into China's arms. Really bad. Somebody said your text got, oh no, maybe it's Joe from Trips Park. He says, in the beginning of the war, Ukraine had to kill 11 Russian soldiers for each one they lost just to break even. Ukraine was never going to win this war. Not to mention, Russian goal is not to obliterate Ukraine. Otherwise, they would have done so with the push of a few buttons. This is an extremely unnecessary war and caused by Joe Biden. And it was not only caused by the stupidity of his statement, well, a minor incursion. It was not only caused by him offering to take Zelensky out of the country, and by, again, our horrendous intelligence, which said it'll be over in 3 days. Russia will roll over them. Thank God Trump had given them some weaponry. Joe Biden and Barack Obama had given them blankets, the Ukrainians. But they knew we were weak. They knew we were led by weak, foolish men. Oh, and women. And he thought it was the time to move. And the main reason he felt he could is Putin felt, well, I can go in there with no consequences because Europe is dependent upon me for energy. At the same time, the United States is pulling back as an energy superpower because of its Green New Deal. Again, everything they did and the personal weakness and stupidity, our botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, all of that led Putin to believe he could get away with this. He didn't count on, I think he's a corrupt little fool, but the little comedian Zelensky, he didn't count on his spine. He didn't count on the spirit of the Ukrainian people. Believe me, it doesn't matter how many weapons we gave them, we gave them resources they couldn't even absorb. Our $300 billion or so dollars, Europe's $100 billion, they couldn't even absorb it. They couldn't even use it. A lot of it got sold. Trump's cleaning up another Biden Democrat establishment mess. And you got to reach out and change the paradigm to because of the situation he was put in. All right. It's an important subject, and Trump does not follow the establishment line, and that's why he has a chance to be successful. The alternative that the foreign policy establishment, the intelligence establishment, the Democrat Party had was ignore it. Speak nasty about Russia. Give them limited sanctions that don't cause any problem because they've got plenty of places they can sell their oil. Trump's actually doing effective things like threatening secondary, and now imposing them, by the way, headed into the meeting, secondary sanctions like India, 25% tariff until you stop buying Russian oil. Pretty damn good. By the way, you can't do that unless America's pumping oil the way it should. Biden couldn't do any of that. Our foreign policy establishment let this war of attrition go on without trying anything. And Ukraine was sure to lose. All right. We'll be back. Speaking of Veterans Tribute after our great messages. What is a veteran found outside the Bloomsburg Legion? Because I salute all of our veterans, not just those in war, although they deserve special recognition. A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount of up to and including his or her life. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by John Basiliga, who reminds you that at the marketplace at Steamtown this Saturday, something brand new, pop-up market, 10 to 5, music, cocktails, 20 pop-up vendors in addition to their year-round food and retail vendors. Something to check out on Saturday, and it'll be ongoing. Harold Jim Shutt, Central Columbia business teacher, active in the community. He was 91 when he passed. August 5th. He was from Danville. Born in Danville, graduate of Danville High School in 1952. Obtained a BA degree and MA degree from the former Bloomsburg State Teachers College. He was last employed as a business and marketing teacher at Central Columbia High School, 1993. He retired. He previously taught at Columbia Montour Vocational Technical School. Earlier in his life, he worked at Ray Shutt and Sons, a store and butcher shop in the 2nd Ward. He served us in the U.S. Army in Germany, 1956 to 1958. Member of organizations in Danville, including the Masonic Lodge, the Moose Lodge, the Elks Lodge, and Washies Fire Company. He served on the Geisinger Hospital Authority for 44 years, chairman for 25. He also served on the Municipal Authority and the Water Authority, former 2nd Ward councilman. Avid gardener, he made homemade sauerkraut. Surviving his wife, the former Jacqueline Hauer, with whom he celebrated their 67th wedding anniversary last year in October. Also surviving 3 children, 7 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandson, Harold Jim Shutt. Jerry Glazer, PPL retiree, active church member and coach. He was only 73 when we lost him. He was from Bloomsburg. His wife was with him. They'd been married nearly 51 years. His 2 daughters by his side at his passing as well. He was born in Greeley, Nebraska. He faithfully served us in the United States Navy during the Vietnam War, honorably discharged in 1978. 1974, Jerry married his loving wife, Nancy Van. He was also employed for more than 33 years with PPL, beginning as a technician and retiring as a nuclear engineer in 2011. Member the Calvary Baptist Church in Bloomsburg for 47 years, Sunday school teacher, deacon board, and so many other things, including a coach of their basketball team. He felt it was his privilege to invest in the life of each player there. He was an excellent golfer, a proud Nebraska Cornhusker. You do annual father-daughters Nebraska football game. Survivors include his wife of 50 years, Nancy, 2 daughters, and 8 siblings. Jerry Glazer. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga, the marketplace at Steamtown, and its exciting pop-up market series starting this Saturday. Storm Tracker 16 forecast meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, some morning showers, then sunshine, 85. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62. Friday, partly sunny, 88. Saturday, mostly sunny, 88. Sunday, partly sunny with a chance of isolated afternoon thunderstorms. It'll be 90 degrees probably on Sunday. The Stones, Murph tells us this date, 1981, they released their hit Start Me Up. Great song. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. Tommy P's on patrol. So Apple Street in Dunmore, you're safe. Or is it North Apple or South Apple? One of them. Hey, how about our friend Governor Dunleavy, who we had on, Scranton's own Governor Dunleavy, the governor of Alaska, who's been really featured because of all this thing going on. We've had him on the air here. Good guy. Been passing buddies with him back in the old days, but a good guy. He's been a great governor. So he's very proud of him. Not only the job he's done as governor, but hosting now a world summit like this. Big deal. Nice stuff. Hey, Bill from Pittston. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing good, Bob. I started my urban ministry training in Washington, D.C. at a place called Luther Place that primarily worked with homeless women in a pretty dangerous spot. And I almost took the associate ministry spot, but my wife refused to go there since my predecessor's family was attacked on Easter morning going to Mass.
Yeah.
So she ruled it up. But anyway, I never forgot the place, and I used to take our kids to do work with the homeless. After one day working with them, I took them down to look at the monuments, and we're just getting back to Luther Place, and it was getting dusk, and one of the kids had ADHD, and he wandered off, and a group of teenagers went after him throwing rocks. But thank God one of my escorts was former military, prison guard, martial arts expert, 6'4". He scattered them. But that kid was so traumatized, and this was in 1993 that this happened.
The good old days.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a dangerous place,
Yep.
But I mean, now I'm sick of the tents. I'm sick of the crazy stuff going on. I hope Trump does this in New York and Chicago. I love what he's doing.
Well, I think the template is there, Bill, and I certainly hope he follows it. I really do. These Democrat mayors cannot do their jobs. And what the police force after police force was taken over by the Obama administration. They'd enter into memorandums of understanding with the Justice Department, and then the feds would control police departments in various cities. Nobody cared. Kathy Hochul put the National Guard in the subways. Nobody cared. These people are hypocrites, phonies, liars. And they don't give a spit about some poor minority family just trying to exist in Washington, D.C. They don't care one whit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like you said, the people that are living in D.C., they desperately want what Trump's doing, and the Democrats are oblivious to it.
They're sickening. Bill, thank you, my man. Always a pleasure. Thank you for your patience and persistence, too, by the way.
Well, thanks. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, my man. Well, we're finishing with Survivor. The number one hit this date, 1982, Murph tells us, Eye of the Tiger. Not a bad song. And it would certainly get you fired up. Maybe, I'm probably not going to. Well, I might work out because of this, because I got to hear this. I just might. Final mention of our great veterans. We lost them this year, but celebrate today. Joseph Garrity, Dixon City. John Blannard, Sawyersville. Michael Phillips, Wilkes-Barre. Philip Sensula, Harding, formerly of Wilkes-Barre. Jerry Glazer, Bloomsburg. And Harold Jim Shutt, Danville. Thank you to them. Thank you to their families. And they leave a fantastic legacy. Remember Saturday. Two great events in Scranton. Both worthy of your visits. Both of them happen to be 10 to 5. Well, 12 to 5, I believe, is the marketplace at Steamtown. 10 to 5 is the Hot Cars, Cool Watches at Bacardo's. But the pop-up market series beginning at Marketplace at Steamtown. Going to be a great event. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to be there. And Then you walk over the street, only a few blocks, you're at Hot Cars, Cool Watches at Picardo's. Good stuff. Revisiting with the minute we have left, the Cincinnati situation. I don't care. Like, it should not have escalated and spiraled the way it did. The woman getting knocked out by the man, that guy should go to jail for a long time. But the big white guy started it. He made the first physical contact. Let's not overlook this, and racialize it and all of that. It's a gang fight. He didn't bring his gang. Let's have a little bit of awareness, big guy. I'm sorry you took a beating, but you started it like a dummy. Now, by the way, once a guy's down, once a guy's out of it, and he's lost, all of those who added on, punish them. But let's not try to pretend that there was only one wrong here. As I keep watching those videos, and Fox was just showing it, it's very clear the first physical act was by the big white guy that got himself pounded. Know where the hell you are and know who's surrounding you, please. All right, enough of that, because we got to go. Nothing I can do about that. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. But for now, whether I like it or not, and I don't know if I do, I've got to go. And we've got to gavel to a close this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. Have a great afternoon.